Hey everyone! Tonight we're diving into the hidden corners of history where a woman most people have never heard of influenced the destiny of empires. Imagine the 13th century. A historian at his desk pens these words, the smartest woman on earth. He's not referring to a queen like Cleopatra or Eleanor of Aquitaine. He's describing a woman whose 4 sons rose to become emperors, governing lands from the Pacific to Europe's borders. Her choices helped form the biggest land empire ever known, but if you visit her grave today, you'll see something eerie, a plain stone, no inscription, no words, nothing, as though she vanished from existence. Her name was Sorghaghtani Beki. And tonight, you'll learn why wiping her from the records could be history's worst injustice. Before we enter her era, I have a request. If this tale touches you, if it shifts your view of the past, think about liking this video. And if you're drawn to the overlooked tales that school books skipped, subscribe. I guarantee the 11 other amazing women in this series will astonish you. Plus, I'm really interested. Where are you tuning in from? Your room? Maybe relaxing in bed with earbuds? Leave a comment with your local time. It's amazing how we're spread worldwide, yet linked by these lost narratives. Okay, lower the lights if possible. Settle in. Play some soft fan hum or rain noise if that's your thing. And let's travel back to vast steppes, galloping horses, and a woman who mastered history's longest strategy game. We'll begin with a puzzle that lingers through the whole account. What defines power? Leading troops, occupying a throne, appearing on currency? Or is true power subtler, more potent, the type that transforms the globe while attention is elsewhere? It's around 1190. In Central Asia's endless plains, a girl enters the world in the Karaite tribe. Her name is Sorghaghtani. The Karaites are unique. They're Nestorian Christians, a branch of Christianity that spread east via the Silk Road. Her father, Jaka Gambu, maneuvers through a perilous political world, as a rising leader nearby will soon be Genghis Khan. This is where it gets intriguing. Sorghaghtani's family faces a decision: ally with this bold fighter or oppose him. Her uncle, Togrul, joins Genghis Khan early on, but family ties complicate matters. Eventually, Jaka Gambu aligns with Genghis Khan and offers a valuable gift: his daughters. One is young Sorghaghtani, still a teen, wed to Tolui, Genghis Khan's youngest son. Stop and picture it: a teenage girl handed to the offspring of history's most dreaded conqueror. Her father dies soon in the turmoil. She's in an unfamiliar camp with strange traditions, tied to a stranger. Most would focus on survival, stay low, stay secure. But Sorghaghtani wasn't typical. She observes, she listens, she absorbs. And this is key. Mongol women enjoyed more freedoms than those in Europe or China back then. When men left for wars lasting years, women ran the home front. They oversaw finances, made calls, organized huge seasonal moves of thousands of folks and livestock. This wasn't token duty, it was genuine authority. Sorghaghtani bears 4 sons: Monke, Kublai, Hulagu, and Arik Boki. Keep those names in mind. They'll rank among history's key figures. But she doesn't just birth them and pass them to teachers. No, she directs their schooling herself. Though illiterate, she grasps what rulers overlook: the Mongol Empire's vast diversity with many cultures, tongues, and faiths. So she assigns each son a different language. One masters Chinese, another Persian. They learn varied customs, governing styles. She's grooming leaders who can rule this diverse realm, not merely seize it. But her real brilliance emerges in 1232 when her husband Tolui dies at 41. Suddenly, she's a widow with 4 young boys in a ruthless political arena. The current great Khan, Ogedai, Genghis Khan's successor, spots a chance. He proposes she wed his son, Guyuk. This would merge their family lines. Most accounts would show the woman agreeing, lock in her status, remarry into strength, stay safe. But Sorghaghtani declines. She rejects it, and this choice, this single instant, alters world history's path. Consider her move. By not remarrying, she retains her lands, resources, and crucially, her son's legacy. She avoids absorption into another's power web. Ojeda, impressed or annoyed, grants her control over her late husband's domains, covering northern China, eastern Mongolia, and Iranian areas. What does she do with it? She emerges as perhaps the top administrator in the Mongol Empire. Sources from the era aren't subtle. The Persian historian Juvayni, writing then, says she laid such groundwork for her son's triumphs that she positioned them to dominate the world. Another, Rashid al-Din, notes she was highly smart and skilled, and undoubtedly her wit and talent elevated her sons over their cousins. Let me share details, as they're truly striking. She blends the basic Mongol tax setup with Chinese bureaucracy, creating a more effective hybrid. She gathers more funds but curbs corruption. She enacts rules shielding farmers from excess exploitation. Why? She gets a vital point. You can't drain subjects forever. For lasting stability, they need productivity and basic satisfaction. She also embraces something bold for her era: true religious openness. As a Nestorian Christian, she funds a madrasa, an Islamic academy in Bukhara. She aids Christian and Muslim groups alike. She safeguards Buddhist and Taoist sites. Her sons view this tolerance as standard, practical. When they rule, they uphold it. This isn't naive idealism. It's sharp, pragmatic politics. Religious strife destroys empires. Tolerance sustains them. But her masterstroke unfolds after Ogeday's death in 1241. His wife, Toregene, steps in as regent and eventually places her son, Guyuk, as Great Khan. Now, Guyuk dislikes Sorghaghtani's family. There's tension. When Guyuk takes the role, he seems poised to strike against her and her sons. It's a frightening phase. One error, and her line could vanish. But Sorghaghtani handles it flawlessly. She openly backs Guyuk. She and her sons attend his election rite, show respect. They offer no pretext for attack. Then she bides her time, as Guyuk isn't healthy. Sure enough, in 1248, just 2 years in, he dies. Now the succession turmoil hits, and Sorghaghtani's long preparation shines. She's built ties with key nobles for years. She's shown administrative prowess. Her lands thrive, well managed. Her sons are learned, able, esteemed. She has a strong ally in Batu Khan, ruler of the empire's west. Together, they pull off one of history's top political feats. In 1251, at a grand Kurultai, her eldest son Möngke is chosen as Great Khan. This is massive. It shifts power from Ogeday's line to Tolui's, her line, for good. Möngke rules from 1251 to 1259. When he dies, her second son Kublai becomes Great Khan. And Kublai Khan, you've likely heard of him, he finishes conquering China, founds the Yuan dynasty, rules one of history's vastest empires. Meanwhile, her third son Hulagu takes Persia, establishes the Ilkhanate. He's the one who razes Baghdad in 1258. Even her fourth son Arik Boke vies with Kublai for the throne. All 4 sons lead huge realms. Ponder that. All 4. That's not chance. That's 40 years of meticulous planning, teaching, politicking, and tactical genius. One scholar estimated her heirs governed more land and people than any family ever. But here's the heartbreaking twist. Sorghaghtani dies in 1252, just a year after Möngke's rise. She misses Kublai's China conquest, the full bloom of her legacy. Her sons grieve deeply. Some accounts say Möngke never recovers fully from losing her. Then, gradually, something awful occurs. History overlooks her. Chronicles highlight her sons' victories: Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, Hulagu. Sorghaghtani gets a footnote or paragraph at best, and the eeriest detail: her burial spot near her husband's memorial has a blank marker, unlike other major Mongol leaders. Some think her sons left it empty because words couldn't sum her up. Or perhaps it was meant for later inscription but never done. Or maybe it's a symbol of history's treatment, erased, forgotten, blanked out. But those male historians I noted, Juvaini and Rashid al-Din, knew. They wrote of her brilliance, called her the wisest of her time, man or woman. They stated plainly that without her, her sons couldn't have succeeded. So the facts existed. Later historians simply ignored them, prioritizing conquests, battles, emperors. They chose to omit the woman who enabled it all. And this pattern repeats in our series. Women who preserved empires, made pivotal choices at key times, showed intellect and skill rivaling or surpassing any man of their age. Yet, forgotten. Not for lacking impact, but because historians couldn't envision women as that vital. Sorghaghtani governed vast territories. She revamped taxes, averted religious wars via tolerance, educated 4 emperor sons, outplayed history's toughest schemers. She did it without leading an army, sitting on a throne, or gracing a coin. That's power. True power. The kind that alters the world. So when someone claims women didn't shape history, were mere spectators, lacked leadership skill, recall Sorghaghtani Beki. Recall the woman with the blank stone, mother of Khans, dubbed the world's smartest by those who knew her. And wonder, how many similar tales are lost? How many brilliant women erased, footnoted, forgotten? The answer, as you'll see in this series' next parts, exceeds what you imagine. We're barely starting to unearth them. Trust me, what's ahead will upend your views on empire survival. Stick around. From Mongolia's steppes, let's head west to Constantinople, once the world's hub in 532. I must share a January moment that year, one of history's sharpest pivots. An empire nearly crumbled, saved by a woman many elites loathed. Her name was Theodora. And first, grasp this. The main historian chronicling her, Procopius, despised her. He penned a secret book solely to smear her. Yet, amid his venom and efforts to ruin her name, he couldn't conceal her as one of her era's sharpest political minds. Haters sometimes reveal your strength unintentionally. So, who was Theodora pre-empress? It's tricky. We must sort slander from fact. Per Procopius's scandalous secret history, she was an actress and performer. In 6th century Byzantium, acting wasn't glamorous like Hollywood. It was low status, linked to prostitution. Procopius details her past graphically, likely exaggerated. But even charitably, she rose from Byzantium's lowest rungs. Her dad was a bear trainer at the Hippodrome, the huge chariot race arena. After his death, her family struggled. Theodora worked young. She was clever, attractive, driven. Somehow this girl from the arena pits caught Justinian's eye, heir apparent as the reigning emperor's nephew. Justinian wasn't emperor yet, but primed for it. He fell deeply in love with Theodora, not infatuation, real love. So much he sought marriage. But a huge hurdle. Roman law barred senatorial men from wedding actresses. It was illegal. So Justinian persuades his uncle, Emperor Justin I, to alter the law. They enact one allowing repentant actresses to wed anyone. Huge. This rewrites core Roman law for one woman. In 525, they wed. 2 years later, in 527, Justin dies. Justinian becomes emperor, Theodora empress, not symbolically, but with real sway. Justinian does something rare, makes her full co-ruler. She's on coins beside him. She issues decrees. She greets foreign envoys. This isn't ceremonial. She holds true imperial clout. But 5 years in, January 532, disaster strikes. Constantinople's a tinderbox. Two big factions, like intense sports teams but deadlier, the blues and greens. They're race fan groups, but also political mobs controlling areas, street fighting. Emperors usually pit them to stay in control. But in January 532, something unheard of. Blues and greens unite against Justinian. It sparks at hippodrome races. The crowd chants Nika, meaning victory. Not for racers, for overthrowing the emperor. Hours later, it's a riot. Days on, a revolution. Rioters torch buildings, not a few, but the Hagia Sophia Church, Christendom's greatest, the Senate House, public baths. Half the city burns per Procopius, who witnessed it. And the scariest, rioters crown a rival emperor, Hypatius, a former emperor's nephew, right in the hippodrome. No longer protesting, they're staging a takeover, succeeding. In the palace, Justinian panics. Advisors panic. Cities lost, armies split, loyalty unsure. After 5 chaotic days, Justinian decides to flee, grab gold, board a ship, cross the Bosphorus, abandon throne, city, all. Advisors concur, ships prepare. Then Theodora rises. Imagine, room of men all set to run. This woman from the hippodrome's lowest speaks. Per Procopius, who hated her but was there, she says roughly, "Flight isn't right even for safety. All born must die. But for a ruler, being fugitive is unbearable. May I never lose this purple. May I not see the day I'm not called empress. If you want to escape, Caesar, it's easy. We're wealthy. Sea and ships await. But ponder, in safety, might you wish death over it? I favor the old line. Purple's finest shroud." Repeat. Purple makes the best burial shroud. She's saying she'd die empress than live fugitive. And subtly, she's calling him coward. Picture it. This woman, 5 years prior, too low-born for legal marriage to aristocracy, is the room's sole brave soul. While power-born men, leadership-trained, army-commanding, prepare flight, she stands firm. It succeeds. Justinian, stung and inspired, reverses. They stay. But need a plan. Theodora shows not just guts, but strategy. Suggests dividing rioters. They have loyal troops under Generals Belisarius and Mundus, plus gold. Theodora proposes sending Agent Narcissus into Hippodrome with gold sacks. Target blues. Remind them Justinian favored them historically. Bribe, split from greens, shatter revolt unity. While Narcissus works, Belisarius and Mundus position forces. Brutal part. Trap rioters in Hippodrome. They've gathered there with Hypatius, thinking victory, celebrating. Narcissus splits some blues, not all, but enough for chaos. Then Belisarius strikes. Troops enter from multiple points. Rioters realize the trap too late. Massacre follows. Byzantine soldiers slaughter men, women, all inside. Sources claim 30,000 to 35,000 dead in one afternoon. Horrific. Hypatius captured, executed. Revolt crushed. Constantinople saved, Justinian emperor. But grasp this. Without Theodora, it fails. Without her words, Justinian flees. Empire enters civil war. History shifts. One woman's bravery in one instant changes everything. She doesn't stop. Over 16 years until 548 death, Theodora reshapes Byzantine society, especially for women. Laws let women own property alone. Husbands can't use wives' dowries without consent. Rape gets death penalty. Radical then. Most saw rape as property offense against father or husband. Theodora made it execution worthy. She combats trafficking too. Learning brothel owners enslaved girls from poor families, forcing prostitution, Theodora closes them. Buys freedom for over 500 women, sets up safe home. Some, scarred by their life, reportedly jumped from windows. But Theodora tried, using imperial might for vulnerable women. On larger scale, she aids Justinian's campaigns. When Belisarius takes North Africa from Vandals, reclaims Italy from Ostrogoths, Theodora joins planning, corresponds with generals, decides troop moves, resources. Western Roman reconquest, fallen decades prior, is her project as much as Justinian's. She navigates religious politics cleverly. Amid Christian splits, Theodora backs Monophysite Christians. Justinian leans Chalcedonian Orthodox. She shelters Monophysite leaders in palace, hiding from persecution. Runs her own policy, sometimes countering her husband's, and Justinian allows it, shows her true power. Oh, and that legal code, Corpus Juris Civilis, foundation for European law, Theodora shapes it. Women's rights laws, anti-trafficking, property protections, her push. By any measure, Theodora was a top Byzantine ruler, saved throne in crisis, reformed laws, protected vulnerable, helped reclaim lands, political genius, social reformer. Yet, remembered how? Procopius's lifetime histories are somewhat respectful. Post-death, his secret history spreads gossip, assassinating her character. For centuries, that's her image. Scandalous empress, ex-actress, disreputable woman who enchanted an emperor. Modern scholars finally look past propaganda to truth. Theodora was exceptional, sharp, resilient, strategic, braver in 532 than any man there. Saved Byzantium from fall, then improved it 16 years. Why her reputation ruined? Why focus on supposed scandalous past over feats? You know why. A woman from nothing rising to rule, deciding independently, sometimes defying her husband and succeeding. That threatened. Narrative controlled. Reduced to sexuality, scandal, dismissible. But history reveals truth. Theodora was a giant. The purple-clad woman choosing death over disgrace, saving all by staying. Consider that when someone suggests historical women were mere ornaments, consorts, side characters in men's tales, Theodora was the lead. It just took over a millennium for recognition. We've seen two women. One built an empire from shadows via intellect, one saved one via raw bravery in crisis. But what of women at deeper levels, whose names you likely haven't heard, but whose acts literally stopped emperor overthrows? We're delving further. Stay. Picture a woman in a Roman Empire frontier camp. Roman garb, Syrian accent. Tough soldiers bow respectfully. She checks supplies, decides troop shifts, resolves commander disputes. Not visiting, it's her role. Title, Mother of the Camps. Reality, running Rome while all pretend it's her husband. Name, Julia Domna. For 23 years, arguably Rome's most powerful, yet ask for mighty Roman women. Folks say Cleopatra, not Roman, maybe Livia or Agrippina. Julia Domna, who kept the empire running amid changing emperors. Silence. Let me present someone who merits fame. Julia Domna, born around 160 in Syrian Emesa, modern Homs. Father, high priest of sun god Elagabalus, means wealthy, learned, influential family. But Syrian, not Roman, mattered in empire. Always snobbery that power belonged to ancient Italian lines, not Eastern provincials. But Julia was brilliant, educated, ambitious. In 187, marries Septimius Severus, North African Roman general. Interesting pair, both provincials, outsiders to old elite, they turn it to advantage. In 193, after civil wars, Septimius Severus becomes emperor, Julia Domna empress. Unlike many, she doesn't linger in Rome at parties, joins campaigns for years. Unprecedented. Empresses didn't travel with armies, but Julia does. Not just support, involved. Sources call her mother of the camps, mother of the army, not honorary. Attends military meetings, generals report to her, handles governor letters, manages logistics. Grasp this. Roman Empire spans Britain to Mesopotamia. Running it demands constant detail. Taxes, grain ships, roads, supplies, client-state diplomacy. Someone coordinates. Increasingly, Julia. Example, 208, Septimius Severus campaigns in Britain conquering Scotland area. Older, unwell, focused on military. Who handles rest? Julia, co-emperor for civil side while he does military. Sources confirm she made real decisions, not just signing. She forms a salon of thinkers, philosophers, writers, historians, scientists like Philostratus, sophist Bios, or Galen, top medic. Patronizes them. They preserve Greek-Roman knowledge, not frivolous, culture faded in parts. Julia protects it, appears on coins, huge. Coinage declared power, Julia with husband equal sometimes. Inscriptions, Augusta, female Augustus, top imperial title. Empire publicly nods her clout. Then 211, Septimius Severus dies in Britain. Complication, sons Caracalla, Geta hate each other. Father's advice, agree. Pay soldiers, ignore rest. Helpful, brothers can't agree. Propose splitting empire. Caracalla west, Geta east. Disastrous. Post-Civil War empire. Split ensures more. Who dissuades? Julia. Convinces shared power pretense. Rome return. But hate persists. Palace war zone. Guards needed together. Factions form. Rome nears civil war. Julia mediates. Then 212 horror. Caracalla invites Geta to mothers for reconciliation. Julia hopes breakthrough. Instead, Caracalla's men kill Geta, dies in Julia's arms, blood on her, holding one dying son as others' guards watch. Imagine trauma. Caracalla purges, thousands suspected Geta loyal, senators, soldiers, servants, up to 20,000 executed. Bloodbath. Julia could shatter, retreat. Instead, remarkable, keeps working. Empire needs running. Caracalla paranoid, erratic, glory-obsessed. Next, Alexander. 213, leaves Rome east, Germany, provinces, Parthia invasion plan. Who rules Rome? Julia. Next 5 years, while Caracalla chases glory, Julia Domna runs Rome. Not regent for child, actual administrator, handles governor letters, judicial calls, treasury. Historians say nothing without her nod. Cassius Dio, contemporary senator, writes her power, not always praising, but clear she's in charge. Herodian describes her ruling beside Caracalla, authority empire-wide. But here's what gets me. Despite power, impossible spot. Grieving murdered son while serving murderer, knows Caracalla unstable, sources call paranoid, cruel, possibly ill, oppose, killed, quit, chaos, so stays, keeps machine going. 217, Caracalla assassinated by soldier during roadside relief, undignified. News reaches Julia, she knows fallout. Macrinus, Praetorian prefect, grabs power, declares emperor. Knows Julia dangerous, Competent, respected, connected. Moves against her. Julia ill. Sources say breast cancer, worsening. Watching her work, sacrifices crumble. Sons dead. Husband dead. Empire, she ran decades taken by unfit upstart. Julia chooses, stops eating, starves herself. Details fuzzy, but most agree refusal of food. Dies Antioch 217, maybe cancer, starvation, both. Think tragedy. Woman running Rome quarter century. Held through civil wars, fratricide, challenges, protected culture, called Mother of Senate, Mother of Fatherland, on coins as Augusta. Dies alone, ill, grieving, legacy collapsing, history forgets. Focuses on husband Septimius Severus, military emperor, or Caracalla, cruel tyrant. Julia, footnote, married Julia Domna from Syria. That's most books. But contemporaries knew. Cassius Dio knew. Herodian knew. Wrote her power, acknowledged reluctantly she essential. Couldn't deny what all saw. Julia Domna, not just empress, the empress doing work. And striking, Syrian, no old Roman family. Outsider reaching power peak via intellect, education, competence. Maybe why forgotten, doesn't fit Roman emperor narrative. Too foreign, educated, independently powerful. Interesting, sister Julia Mesa, nieces Julia Somias, Julia Mamea, also powerful. Post Julia Domna, sister runs empire years, manipulating successions. Syrian women kingmakers, power behind thrones. Yet popular history, docs, books barely mention. Why? Acknowledging means admitting uncomfortable. Roman Empire height often run by women, not any, but Syrian provincials. Smarter, more capable than most purple wearers. Julia Domna kept empire 23 years while emperors fought, traveled armies, made military calls, governed provinces, preserved culture, held together as men credited, buried both sons, died alone, heartbroken, history thanked by footnote. But she existed, mattered, changed history. Every Severan dynasty mention, remember survival, thriving, do Julia Domna, mother of camps, senate, Syrian philosopher queen who ran Rome. We've met 3 women saving empires. 1 via patient decades planning, 1 via crisis courage, 1 via 23 years tireless administration. But fascinating. Women saving empires not even free? Enslaved women whose smarts made them vital to power? Next story surprises. Sometimes room's key person is unnoticed. 1, corner note-taker, assumed furniture. Ancient Rome had such woman. Born enslaved, no rights, buyable like property. Yet one night, her letter revealed history's biggest conspiracy. Saved emperor, averted civil war destroying empire, name, Caenis. Must share story, it shows power's true workings. We see power as flashy, trumpeted, laurel-crowned. But sometimes it's the unwatched persons, so who Caenis? Truth, little on early life. Enslaved, Roman historians ignored enslaved childhoods. No. Born early 1st century, Eastern Mediterranean, foreign-born, lower status than Roman-born enslaved, somehow property of Antonia Minor. Antonia Minor, highly connected, daughter Mark Antony, Cleopatra's, niece Emperor Augustus, mother Claudius, future emperor, grandmother Caligula, emperor. At Imperial Family Politics Center, Antonia needs secretary, manage letters, records, info flow for key household, chooses Caenis. Why? Caenis's rare gift, perfect memory, not good, eidetic, photographic, hears once, recalls verbatim years later, sees document, remembers every line. Pre-printing, pre-copiers, pre-files, this invaluable Antonia's living archive. Enslaved, legally property, people speak freely around her. Senators, generals, imperial family assume irrelevant. Mistake. Now year 31. Emperor Tiberius rules since 14, Augustus's stepson, hates emperorship, paranoid, trusts few. By 31, retired Capri, governing remotely, refusing Rome. Who runs daily? Sejanus, Praetorian prefect, commands elite emperor guards. But Sejanus wants emperorship, plans years. How brilliant, terrifying. Convinces Tiberius consolidate Praetorian barracks Rome. One spot, his control over thousands elite heart city, eliminates opponents, poisons Tiberius's son Drusus, marries imperial family. Appointed co-consul Tiberius, unprecedented non-imperial. Builds base to overthrow Tiberius. Tiberius isolated Capri, suspicious, trusts Sejanus most. Fox runs henhouse while farmer sleeps, but Sejanus errs, underestimates old woman, enslaved secretary. Antonia watches, survived decades imperial politics, saw Cleopatra Mark Antony fall, navigated Augustus's dangerous reign, knows coups, sees signs, has informants, loyal, owing favors, fearing Sejanus's plans. Info flows, secret senator meetings, loyal troops key spots, rumors Tiberius unfit, prepares big move. Antonia's issue, warn emperor his top advisor plots kill. Can't normal letter, Sejanus controls Praetorians. Messenger intercepted, killed, bribed. Letter opened. If Sejanus learns Antonia knows, kills her, household before warning Tiberius. So Antonia plans. Needs detailed, convincing message Tiberius acts fast. Secure too. Here Caenis Empire's most important. Antonia dictates letter to Caenis. Not simple, comprehensive conspiracy report. Names, dates, meetings, talks, all organized proving Sejanus' coup. Caenis writes, imagine Caenis's pressure. Enslaved, no protection. Wrong, tortured, death. Fate enslaved in political plots. Interrogated, torture, executed. But Caenis writes, delivery. Antonia picks trusted freedman Pallas, Caenis's friend, possibly brother. Risky plan. Pallas to Capri routine business, letter hidden. Searched, found, all dead. But Pallas succeeds. Delivers to Tiberius. Tiberius reads, pieces fit. Odd things, suppressed suspicions make sense. Sejanus not loyal, threat, acts fast, smart. Sejanus controls Praetorians, wrong move, guard turns. Tiberius letters Senate convene, sends trusted officer. October 18, 31. Senate meets, expects routine. Sejanus attends confident, expects honors. Tiberius letter read, starts praising Sejanus. Senators nod, turns, criticizes, accuses, orders arrest. Senate stunned, Sejanus confused. Before reaction, Tiberius loyal soldiers arrest Sejanus in chamber. Prison executed same day. No trial. Defense. Purge starts. Thousands associated arrested. Senators, knights, soldiers, admins. Mass executions weeks. Tacitus calls bloodbath. Rome terror. But empire survives. Coup stopped. Civil war averted. Why? Enslaved woman wrote letter. Sink in. World's mightiest state saved by woman legally powerless, killable on whim. Without her memory, organizing info coherent warning, Sejanus might succeed. Rome history different. Stories twist. After, Antonia frees Caenis. Not gesture. Roman law. Enslaved exceptional service get freedom. Caenis's most exceptional. Freedwoman, tied Antonia, obligated but not enslaved. Own property, contracts, life. Caenis, free, continues Antonia's secretary. Too good, manages affairs, letters. During 30s meets young Roman officer Minor family, not distinguished, wealthy. Name, Titus Flavius Vespasianus, Vespasian. form relationship, affair lasting years, decades, but cruel, can't marry. Roman law bars senatorial men, freed women marriage. Vespasian advances, senator, general, barrier insurmountable. Caenis unofficial partner, live together, faithful, all know but legally not wife. Weird fiction, acknowledged, unrecognized. Then, 69, post-Civil War, 4 emperors year, Vespasian emperor. Caenis's love world's powerful. Marry now? Change laws? No. Even emperor can't break taboo. Senate, old families wouldn't accept ex-enslaved empress. Caenis remains common law wife. Sources, Lives Palace, respected, influences Vespasian. People pay intercede, sells access. Some see corruption. I see woman maximizing impossible spot. No official power status, but emperor's ear uses. Caenis dies around 74. How, where unknown. Disappears record. State funeral, monument, recognition saving empire 40 years prior? No. Few lines, ancient histories. Focus Vespasian relationship over accomplishments. Heartbreaking. Caenis brilliant. Abilities indispensable top Rome people. Saved empire, dangerous conspiracy. Lived turmoil decades. Power center. Essential. Unrecognized. Couldn't vote. Office. Marry love even emperor. But mattered. Changed history. Forgotten name. Fascinating about Caenis? Intelligence network, decades center info flow, Antonia's secretary, Vespasian's partner, new favors, corrupt senators, competent fraud generals, secrets destroy careers, save lives, used info strategically, when empire risked, acted, wrote letter, risked life, knew when quiet, hold back, let unfold, sophisticated politics, but ex-enslaved woman operating shadows, history barely remembers. Few paragraphs, focus romance Vespasian, reducing emperor love life footnote. Truth bigger. Caenis, top 1st century Rome political operator. Quietly, unrecognized, without power, via intellect, relationships. Question lingers. How many other Caeneses? Enslaved, freed, servants, secretaries shaping history unknown, stories deemed unworthy, met 4 women, empress steps shaped via sons, empress pits saved Constantinople courage, Syrian queen ran Rome decades, enslaved whose memory stopped coup, 4 paths power, 4 stories history erased. But these women shared beyond forgotten, understood power fundamental, not armies, thrones being essential. Person others rely on, knows, does, makes work. Sometimes empire's most powerful writes letters none else can. Meet someone taking further, not essential one, entire imperial family. Actions one night changed all. Stay. Deeper. Interesting about whistleblowers, rarely benefit speaking, risk all, expose wrong, danger, save lives, institutions. Then, ignored, attacked, forgotten. Ancient Rome, one woman fits perfectly. Uncovered empire's dangerous conspiracy, saved emperor assassination, prevented civil war killing thousands. History, thanked barely mentioning name, Antonia Minor. Think her position, unique Roman history. Daughter Mark Antony, Cleopatra's, lost world. Niece Augustus, first emperor. Grandmother Caligula, Nero, infamous. Mother Claudius, thought idiot, decent emperor. Connected more imperial power than almost any. Yet most today unknown. Set scene differently. Imagine life center most dangerous politics, born ruling family, every party political, dinner could end assassination, marriage strategic, child heir threat, Antonia's life from birth 36 BCE, Father Mark Antony, triumvirate power with Octavian, Lepidus, Mother Octavia, Octavian's sister, born heart struggle, republic or empire, child maybe 7-8, father suicides post-Actium loss, Dies Egypt, Cleopatra's arms, lost gamble, love, ambition. Imagine young Antonia, father enemy Rome, name tarnished, statues down, kid processing, but Uncle Octavian, Victor, Augustus, merciful. Doesn't punish Antonia, mother, brings imperial household, adopts new family. Antonia grows Augustus' palace, raised with emperor's kids, grandkids, best education, learns politics masters, marries Drusus, Augustus' stepson, Livia's first marriage son. Deeper imperial tree. Complicated. Roman families make modern royals simple. Antonia, Drusus, 3 surviving adult kids, Claudius emperor, Germanicus popular general, Livilla. Antonia's life intriguing. Husband Drusus dies 9 CE Germany campaign. Widow. 30 defines life, never remarries. Unusual. High status widows expected remarry alliances power. Antonia no. Widow 48 more years. Becomes Rome's influential, not marriage office, being trusted, talked to, knows all. Antonia had valuable, legitimacy, respected, survived regime changes, connected all important, not threat, not pushing sun throne obviously, smart, really smart. People seek, senators' advice, generals' pre-campaign reports, merchants' introductions. Antonia listens, remembers, builds vast info network. Ever know dangerous something? Could kill if wrong find out. Antonia late 20s CE, hears odd pieces. Sejanus acting strange. Consolidating power, eliminating rivals. Too close Tiberius. No Sejanus, but Antonia's view, known years. Watched rise minor to Rome's second powerful. Seen operations, realizes terrifying. Sejanus plots overthrow Tiberius, seize throne, but prove Sejanus smart. No written plans, no announcements, works intermediaries, loyal soldiers, careful suggestions. Importantly, who believes? Tiberius trusts Sejanus most. Accused without proof, Sejanus flips, claims she plots, kills her. So Antonia builds case, cultivates informants, owing favors, scared Sejanus plans, noticing. One supporter drunk talks too. Guard mentions secret senator meets. Servant reports smuggled docs. Peace by, Antonia assembles conspiracy picture. Worse, Sejanus murdered Tiberius's son Drusus poison. Married imperial legitimize. Positioning loyal troops. Ready move. Conspiracy now, year 31. Imagine fear. Sejanus succeeds, kills challengers, including her, children, grandchildren. Sits info save empire, revealing could family murdered, choice. Fascinating Antonia, not warrior queen, no armies, dramatic speeches, quiet, careful, methodical, but fearless when counts. Decides tell Tiberius, blows whistle Rome's powerful, but no normal message. Sejanus controls Praetorians. Messenger intercepted. Letter opened. Turns one trust completely. Secretary Caenis. Talked Caenis last. Enslaved perfect memory. Antonia dictates all. Evidence, name, meeting. Caenis writes crucial letter. But think Antonia asks, risk life empire. Letter found. Caenis tortured, killed. Antonia knows, asks anyway, saving empire sometimes terrible sacrifices. Caenis, loyal beyond, does, writes. Antonia sends Pallas, trusted freedman. If Pallas caught, letter found. Not just Pallas, Caenis die. Sejanus moves immediate, kills Antonia, Tiberius seizes. All hangs Pallas reaching island. Does, letter to Tiberius. No next, covered last. Tiberius reads, sees Sejanus truth, orders arrested, executed, thousands conspirators purged, Rome saved civil war. So Antonia gets saving empire, honors, rewards, recognition. Story interesting, Post-Sejanus, Tiberius offers Augusta title, highest woman honor, empress equivalent, enormous prestige, recognition, money. Antonia refuses. Why? Turned down? Reasons. Old school Roman values, modesty, state service, no glory. Accepting makes target, children, grandchildren, danger-seeming heirs. Third, profound, real power, not titles. Being essential, everyone needs, she was. Even post-Sejanus, Rome's important. Grandson Caligula, Emperor 37, key advisor initially. Caligula puts image coins, rare non-empress, but Caligula turns, humiliates, ignores. Sources say maybe killed her 37, details murky. E72. But influence not end death. Son Claudius, underestimated limp stutter, Emperor 41. Competent, conquers Britain, improves admin, builds aqueducts, harbors, learned politics, survived court. From Mother Antonia, never forgot, kept safe regime changes, deified post-death, goddess pantheon, coins, temples, but couldn't make world remember. Haunting, Antonia Minor saved Roman Empire, dangerous moment, history barely recalls, prevented coup plunging Rome civil war, protected succession, raised emperor, connected power, almost any woman. Ask who saved Rome Sejanus, most don't know. Might say Tiberius senator's arrest, but Antonia, uncovered plot, forgotten. Why? Pattern, women behind scenes, no armies, public speeches, power via intellect, relationships, not force. Written out history, stories not fit power narrative, too subtle, quiet, complicated. Also specific whistleblowers. Throughout history, expose wrong, truth power, often forgotten, brass, worse. Uncomfortable, system not working supposed. Corruption, conspiracy, high levels. Society's dislike reminder. Forget whistleblowers. Erase messengers, bad news, even saving all. Modern parallels. How many whistleblowers named celebrated lifetimes? Few. Most retaliation, exile, obscurity. Antonia, same 2,000 years ago. Risked all. Saved empire, refused credit, forgotten, but mattered. Changed history. Every Sejanus fall story, remember Antonia made happen. Her informant network, careful documentation, courage speak, risk family greater good. Heroism, just not history books' usual heroism. So far, 5 women. 1 shaped empire, decades patience intellect. 1 saved single crisis courage. 1 ran empire, 23 years men took credit. 1 saved despite enslaved. Now 1 saved bravest whistleblower history. 5 paths power, 5 ways essential, 5 stories history erased. But here shift gears. All women so far free somewhat. Agency, choice actions. But women not overlooked, actively serving credit-taking men. Women literally ran largest empire husbands warred years. Meet someone whose role, run history's biggest empire away years. Promise, story changes empire workings view. Stay. Here's bet never considered. Who ran Mongol Empire? Here Genghis Khan, envision horseback warrior conquering Korea, Hungary. Imagine armies, battles, horse thunder. But question none asks. Genghis away fighting years, not months. Who managed homeland? Coordinated migrations, hundreds, thousands people, millions animals. Ensured economy, no collapse, trade open, commanders resourced. Answer, 17-year-old woman, probably never heard. Name, Börte. About completely alter Mongol Empire understanding. Conquest part, everyone talks, actually easier. Hard, keeping home running, her job, back. Way to 178. Imagine Mongolian steppes, grass ocean endless, Mongol tribes scattered, constant fights, alliances form break. Young man, Paran 16, Temujin, not Genghis yet. Minor clan kid surviving brutal world. father murdered, family abandoned tribe. Temujin betrothed Börte, not love, politics. Fathers arranged children. Temujin claims bride, interesting. Sources suggest Börte-Temujin connect. Respect, perhaps affection. Marry Börte, you're 16 to 17. Story intense, reveals Börte who. Shortly post-marriage, first year maybe, Börte kidnapped rival Merkits. Retaliation, Temujin's father passed. Merkits take captive, gone months near year. Forced wife captor. Temujin assembles alliance, calls favors, help blood brother Jamuka, powerful chief Togrul. Raid Merkits, rescue Börte home, but returns pregnant, uncertain Temujin's or captors. Moment could destroy. Many cultures Temujin expected reject Börte, cast damaged, doesn't. Decision critical, all follows, accepts fully, claims child, son Yochi, own, treats Börte chief wife, key partner. Börte survives kidnap, likely assault, pregnancy, captivity, stronger, doesn't break, becomes Mongol Empire foundation. Börte not background woman, political power, economic force. Explain Mongol society, different expected. Men campaigns years, women ran all. Mongol women more authority than Europe, China, Middle East. Counterparts then. Own property independent, economic decisions, command servant soldiers if needed, speak councils, ride horses, weapons if necessary. Expected manage household economy, men away. Not symbolic, real. Börte top system. Temujin becomes Genghis uniting tribes late 1100s, early 1200s. Börte manages base. Own Orda, mobile household camp, like small city yurts, seasonal moves. Börte responsible all. Scale, not 10-20 people. Börte's Orda thousands. Servants, warriors, craftsmen, herders, families, hundreds, thousands, animals. Horses, sheep, cattle, goats, camels, massive enterprise, constant move, nomadic. Coordinate, move thousands people and livestock hundreds miles, ensure food, water, animals healthy, right places, times. Logistics, moving city. Börte year after, but not just. Börte political diplomatic duties. Commanders check her pre-Genghis meet. Ambassadors, other tribes and nations meet her first sometimes. Merchants trade Mongols, often Börte approval. Gateway power, people knew. Sources clear. Genghis consulted Börte major decisions. Not unusual Mongol culture. Men consult wives, chief wife important. Genghis valued Börte judgment. Survived trauma. Proved loyalty and capability. Trusted completely. Börte gave Genghis 4 surviving adult sons, Yoshi, Chagatai, Ogedei, Tolui. Remember Tolui, Sorghaghtani's husband, father 4 emperor sons. Börte not just raising kids, raising future rulers, involved education, ensured military skills, also administration, diplomacy, manage people, alliances. Importantly, taught value-capable women, all sons' wives, significant power. Tolui married Sorghaghtani, others influential wives, pattern from Börte, modeled powerful woman, sons expected wives, partners not subordinates. Succession 2, post-Genghis 1227 death could civil war, Yoki dead, Chagatai, Ogedei, Tolui could fight. Instead, follow Genghis Börte plan, Ogedei great Khan. Succession holds initially Börte raised sons, respect family, unity over ambition. See pattern? Mongol Empire, success, things different other empires. Much from administrative social structures women like Börte built. Economic management, diplomatic nets, succession planning, competence over hierarchy, women central. But Mongol story, focus conquests, battles, strategies, military innovations. Important, half story. Other half administrative machinery enabled conquests, machinery largely built operated women. Börte proved manage massive complex mobile society effectively, proved women wield real political economic power, Proved man-woman partnership, both important roles, respect competence, incredibly successful. Then historians decided uninteresting right, met 6 women. Intelligence mastermind shaped empire sons. Courage embodied saved empire darkest. Syrian philosopher queen ran Rome emperors fought. Enslaved whose memory saved emperor. Whistleblower exposed greatest conspiracy. Now, 17-year bride operational backbone history's largest land empire. But women explicitly told can't rule, faced direct opposition power, shaped empires anyway. Women so controversial contemporary sources couldn't decide heroes, villains, meet like. Story challenge ambition, power, history. Judges women refuse assigned roles, stay. What if 2 women did almost exactly same empire, roughly same time, one praised wisest world, other condemned corrupt power-hungry? Only real difference, male historians wrote. Story woman ruled Mongol Empire 5 years, navigated dangerous succession crisis history, thanked reputation destroyed centuries. Name, Toregene Khatun. Make really angry history treats ambitious women. Start comparison blow mind. Talked Sorghaghtani Beki Part 1, right? Brilliant maneuvered son's power, refused remarriage protect interests, manipulated succession get son monkey elected great Khan. Historians loved, called wise, shrewd, most intelligent woman world, praised political skills. Now meet Toregene Khatun, also refused remarriage protect interests, also maneuvered get son elected great Khan, also served regent succession crisis, also made broke alliances consolidate power. Same historians praised Sorghaghtani absolutely trashed Toregene, called corrupt, vindictive, power-hungry, said disaster empire, same actions, different reputations. Question: why? What different? Or just naked sexism dressed historical analysis? Toregene Khatun, born late 1100s, around 1180-1190. From Naiman people, nomadic group Central Asia. Like many noble women region, married political reasons. Became wife Ogedei Khan, Genghis Khan's 3rd son, chosen succeed father Great Khan. Ogedei, multiple wives, normal Mongol society. Toregene, not chief, 5th, but had 5 sons Ogedei, including Guyuk. Mongol society, sons gave political weight, influence. Toregene, smart, politically savvy, ambitious, new work system. Ogedei, Great Khan, 1229, 2 years post-Genghis death, decent ruler, expanded empire. Said administrative systems, known generous, maybe 2. Like drink, probably 2. Kept empire running. Toregene there watching, learning, building networks. Then 1241, Ogedei dies suddenly. 55. Sources suggest drank death, exact unclear. Sudden massive problem, succession. Ogedei wanted grandson Shuramun succeed, deceased eldest son's son, keep direct line. Problem, Shuramun young, early 20s maybe, not strong politically, no powerful support base. Then Guyuk, Toregene's son. Older, experienced military commander, led campaigns, supporters. Crucially, mother determined see throne. Mongol tradition, Great Khan death, convene Kurultai, grand assembly important nobles, princes. Debate elect next Khan. Organizing Kurultai time, princes travel massive empire, some China, Persia, Russia, gathering months, years. Meantime, someone run empire, someone Toregene, became regent, held position 5 years, 1241-1246. 5 years, longer many emperors' entire reigns. Here historical sources biased. 2 main historians period Juvaini, Rashid al-Din, same praised Sorghaghtani, savaged Toregene. Claim corrupt, sold positions, vindictive pursued vendettas, elevated incompetent loyal her. But ask, Description: unique Toregene or power politics. Male rulers purge opponents, reward supporters. We call consolidating power securing throne. Toregene does. Corruption vendettas. See double standard. Specifics. Giovanni writes Toregene offended certain persons. Khan's reign. Resentment-rooted heart. Resolved absolute ruler wreak vengeance each. Okay. Removed opposed Theodora family. Literally every successful ruler does. Can't maintain power, leave enemies authority. Rashid al-Din writes shrewd, capable woman, then pages detailing supposed mismanagement. Yet empire didn't collapse. Regency, no major rebellion. Economy functioned, military campaigns continued. If disaster, how stable? 5 years. Think happening, Toregene doing exactly needed. Secure son succession, male historians couldn't stand. Could praise Sorghaghtani fit ideal woman, modest, children devoted, seemingly not power own sake. Toregene blatant, wanted power, used, enjoyed, made historians uncomfortable. Tell Toregene accomplished regency. First, built coalition. Guyuk support, reached princes, nobles, promises, alliances, incentives, called politics. Every ruler does, but her scheming. Second, managed empire administration. Appointed governors, treasury, diplomatic neighbors. Sources admit grudgingly, capable. Giovanni says unity. A concord administration, doing job well, somehow not enough. Third, delayed cruelty strategically. Critics say clung power, but politically, call too soon. Pre-secured Guyuk support, might lose. All work nothing, probably she. Guyuk sidelined, killed. Waited, built support, ensured cruelty. Finally, Guyuk wins. Worked. 1246, Kurultai convenes. Guyuk elected Great Khan. Toregene successfully maneuvered Sun Throne, world's largest empire. Not corruption, political genius, but story complicates. Guyuk not great relationship mother. Soon as Khan undermines, removes appointees, asserts independence. Common, sons rulers distance mothers establish authority. Telling sources portray Guyuk correcting mother's mistakes, not normal politics. Guyuk not along Sorghaghtani family. Tension, Ogaday Tolui descendants. Eventually civil war post-Guyuk death. But 1246 Kurultai, Toregene, Sorghaghtani worked together. Had to. Sources clear both women instrumental making Kurultai work, preventing violence, brokering election. Two powerful women, both regents, manipulating succession, building coalitions, exercising real power. Historians praise one, condemn other. Why? Think reasons. First, hindsight bias. Sorghaghtani son's successful reigns. Monke Kublai expanded empire greatest. Historians retroactively wise. Guyuk ruled only 2 years pre-death. Accomplished little. So Toregene bad, but unfair. Toregene can't control son life. Second, narrative convenience. Historians needed villain period. Blame instability, infighting. Toregene scapegoat. Easier say woman corrupt than acknowledge structural Mongol succession problems made civil war inevitable. Third, biggest. Toregene visibly ambitious, didn't pretend reluctant power, didn't hide behind son, ruled openly, directly, unapologetically. Violated historians' woman expectations, even powerful women supposed modest, claim acting others, downplay ambition. Toregene didn't, punished historical record. Imagine apply standard male rulers, condemn every emperor pursued ambition, removed opponents, delayed elections, secured support, condemn almost every successful ruler. But don't say strong, decisive, savvy. But woman does, corrupt, vindictive, hungry, insidious, still affects today. Read medieval sources, take face value, assume accurate, but not. Wrote biases, agendas. including keep women place, ensure powerful women not seen legitimate rulers own right. Truth Toregene, capable, ambitious politician successfully navigated Mongol history's dangerous periods, kept empire stable 5 years, maneuvered sun throne, made hard decisions needed, yes, probably removed opponents, rewarded allies, survive environment. Perfect? No. Mistakes? Probably. Some appointees incompetent? Maybe, but show ruler without. Show male regent without same challenges, compromises. More study Toregene. See tragic. Did everything right, game rules. Played Mongol power politics brilliantly. Achieved goal. Reward. Reputation destroyed. Historians couldn't accept woman politically capable, openly ambitious. Matters. Not just one 13th century woman. Pattern repeats history. Ambitious women judged harsher ambitious men. Women pursue power seen corrupt, unnatural. Women no apologize, ambition condemned. Centuries later, rid condemnations assume true. Don't question source bias. Clear. Toregene Khatun, not villain, not corrupt, not disaster. Mongol Empire. Skilled political operator, ruled effectively crisis, secured son succession, scapegoated historians, needed blame problems bigger anyone. If thinking, but maybe really corrupt, ask, think if exact actions by man? If male regent did all Toregene, question motives, or admire skill? Honest. Met 7 women, each saved, shaped empire, each exercised real power, each erased, minimized, demonized history, but not done. Dramatic stories come. Woman not criticized, went war defend empire. Woman became king, not queen. Queen not enough? Story next. Epic. Stay. Titles limit, titles liberate. Medieval Europe, woman ruled called queen. Word expectations. Queens gentle, pious, decorative, bear heirs, avoid politics. But Kingdom Georgia, late 12th century, woman refused limitation, demanded called king, not queen. King meant real power, intended use. Name, Tamar. Over 29 years, 1184 to 1213, turned Georgia most powerful Caucasus state, defeated invasions, expanded territory largest ever, presided golden age culture, prosperity. Did while constantly challenged gender. Story make wonder why not talk more. Extraordinary. Set stage, year 1160. Tamar born king, George III, Georgia. Georgia, 12th century, not today's country, Kingdom Caucasus between Black Caspian Seas, bordered Muslim south, Christian Byzantium west, strategic, wealthy trade routes, constant pressure, larger neighbors. George III strong, but problem, rivals. Nephew Domna, some nobles think should king. 1177, nobles rebel, put Domna throne. George crushes, then brutal, castrates, blinds Domna. Medieval politics harsh. Now another problem. No male heir, only surviving child daughter Tamar. Georgia, never female ruler. Never. George radical, 1178. Tamar Didars 18. Crowns co-ruler, not princess heir, actual co-monarch, real authority. Unprecedented. George strategic, knows death resistance. Tamar alone. Gets nobles, clergy, used idea alive back her. Brilliant, risky, nobles unhappy. 1184, George dies. Tamar 24, rule alone. Immediate opposition. Noble faction says can't woman rule. Unnatural, against tradition. Need man throne. How Tamar handle? Back down? Compromise? No. Doubles. Crowned again. Second coronation, Gelati Cathedral. Clear, not regent placeholder, monarch, deal, but survive, smart. Can't assert, expect fall line. Nobles want influence. Fine. Reorganizes royal council. More great family representation. Listens advice. Appears deferential, pious, but chooses take, ignore. plays game. Nobles insist marry. Interesting. Choose husband Yuri Bogolyubsky. Russian prince exiled homeland. Nobles think controllable. Okay, let Tamar queen, husband really charge, except doesn't. Yuri capable commander, wins battles Georgia. But sources, immoral, possibly abusive, difficult. After 2 years, Tamar unprecedented, divorces. Medieval Christian society, divorce near impossible, especially royalty. Marriages sacred, political, permanent. But Tamar gets church annul, sends Yuri away. Tried your husband choice, didn't work, now my decisions. Nobles furious. Yuri furious. Rebels twice. Gets some Georgian noble support, tries overthrow militarily. Both times Tamar crushes. Second captures, mercy, not execute, sends away again. Message, can't push. Meanwhile Tamar remarries, chooses own, David Soslan. Alan Prince, capable commander, willing support not overshadow. Marriage works, 2 children. David key general, never tries rule. Tamar monarch. Called king, David consort. Now, military campaigns. Tamar proves not surviving, thriving. 1195, Seljuk Empire Sultan, powerful Muslim south, decides Georgia lesson, invades massive army. Tamar's forces under David Soslan meet battle Shamkor. Georgians win decisively, not repel. Destroy Seljuk army, capture Sultan's treasury, personal banner. Humiliating Seljuks, huge Georgia victory. Establishes major regional military power. 1202, Sultan tries again, larger army. Again, Georgian forces battle Bajan crush. Sources, Georgians pursue fleeing Seljuks miles, total rout. Post-Baziani, Seljuks abandon conquer Georgia. Shift maintain trade instead. But Tamar not stop. Offensive. Georgian armies south Armenia, liberate Christian territories under Muslim. East, make Shirvan tributary. Into eastern Turkey, capture key cities. Early 1200s Georgia controls more territory ever. Tamar's kingdom, Black Sea Caspian, northern Caucasus, northern Iran. Sources describe Tamar accompanying armies front, not fight battles herself records, but camps, support, strategic decisions. Unusual medieval rulers, male, female. Tamar understood visible, important, personally invested campaigns. Fascinating 1205. Seljuk Sultan invades, cites Tamar's gender justification. Can't woman ruling, weakens kingdom, conquer because female-led. Tamar's response, crushes invasion, proves gender-irrelevant military competence and political strength. But Tamar not just military, understood great kingdom needs more armies, culture, learning, art, infrastructure. Under her, Georgia Golden Age historians call churches, monasteries built kingdom-wide. Many stunning frescoes architecture exists today. Famous, her monument Vardzia Church, carved mountain, literature blooms. Greatest Georgian work, Night Panther's skin showed a Rustaveli written her reign, dedicated her. Epic poem defines Georgian culture. Tamar supports education, religious scholarship, arts. Treasury full uses patronized culture. Then, 1204, Tamar clever. Fourth Crusade sacks Constantinople. Byzantine chaos, Tamar opportunity. 2 nephews, Alexios David, Byzantine princes, raised her court post-family power loss. Tamar helps establish new empire, sends Georgian troops nephews Black Sea coast, establish Empire Trebizond. Independent state loyal Georgia, gives Tamar ally Black Sea port, brilliant strategic. Expands influence no direct conquest, creates buffer, helps loyal Christian princes. Trebizond survives longer Byzantium until 1461. End Tamar reign, Georgia peak. dominant Caucasus power, wealthy, culturally vibrant, militarily strong. Contemporary sources describe Kingdom CC. Tamar called king kings, queen queens. Title important. King kings highest region, reserved most powerful. Tamar claims, none dispute, earned conquest diplomacy. But why Tamar called king not queen? Georgian sources consistent use masculine mepi, king. Reasons, practically queen implied consort, king's wife. Tamar not anyone's power-wise. Queen diminish authority. Second, king carried weight. Military command, judicial, diplomatic, meant rulership. Tamar demanded all, not lesser feminine. Third, crucial. Calling self king, Tamar statement, gender irrelevant leadership. Title describes function, not sex. Do everything king does, therefore king. Radical equality assertion, remarkable. Worked. End reign. No serious gender challenge authority. Proven thoroughly. Won many battles, expanded kingdom much, brought prosperity. Georgian people and nobles see legitimate, not despite woman, just ruler. Period. Tamar dies, 1213. D3, leaves throne, son George IV. Secured succession, created stable, powerful kingdom. Achieved all medieval ruler hope. Then, 20 years post-death, Mongols arrive Georgia. Everything Tamar built destroyed. Mongols conquer, make tributary, extract tribute, kill thousands. Golden Age ends, territory shrinks, prosperity evaporates. Some ways makes Tamar achievements poignant. Built beautiful, powerful, swept forces beyond control. But 29 years, Georgia under Tamar, extraordinary. So why more not know? Georgia's small country, overlooked Western histories, story not fit neat teaching frameworks, not Roman, Chinese, Islamic, quite European. Between space ignored. Maybe discomfort acknowledging medieval Christian kingdom, European women no political power, had female king more successful most male rulers. But Georgia, Tamar national hero, St. Georgian Orthodox Church, face currency, celebrated literature, art, music. Georgians no story, rest world not. Shame, Tamar's story teaches much. Teaches gender no barrier leadership if competent, determined. Titles matter, shape perception, honor traditions while breaking. Mercy, strength not opposites, building important conquering. Met 8 women, each saved shaped empire. Each overcame enormous obstacles. Each deserves remembered. But still 4 stories go. Next, woman not exercise power, literally chose emperor. Might changed Roman history, one act, may not forgery. Make question historical truth, stay. Imagine Emperor Rome. Dying, no successor choice determines empire decades. Make choice, tell wife, die. Hours later, wife announces choice world. Simple, accept, actually make choice? Or wife put words dead mouth install wanted emperor? Mystery heart important Roman succession. Year 117. Emperor Trajan, one Rome's greatest, dies suddenly campaign. Wife Empress Plotina announces dying breath named cousin Hadrian's successor. Hadrian becomes emperor, one successful reigns Roman history. But Trajan really name? Or Plotina stage managed? Never know sure. Uncertainty tells fascinating real power lived ancient Rome. Introduce Plotina. Born 70, probably Roman province Gaul Narbonensis, modern southern France. Wealthy provincial family, well-educated, cultured, connected. Marries Marcus Ulpius Traianus, Trajan, pre-emperor. Successful military officer, good career. Trajan from Hispania, modern Spain. Couple provincials not old Roman aristocracy, rise together. Trajan gains favor, Emperor Nerva. 98. Nerva adopts Trajan's son, heir. Nerva dies months later. Trajan emperor, Plotina empress. Here Plotina reveals more emperor's wife, uses position-wield influence, corresponds philosophers, intellectuals, patronizes arts, involves imperial appointments, advises Trajan policy. Contemporary sources clear Trajan valued opinion, consulted important. But Plotina favorite, young Publius alias Hadrianus. Hadrian. Where's story interesting? Hadrian, Trajan's distant cousin. Same Spanish hometown. Smart, cultured, loved Greek art, philosophy, military promise. Plotina adored. Sources suggest saw special Hadrian early. Became patron, court advocate. Pushed Trajan, give Hadrian important positions. Advance career. Trajan did. Hadrian various military admin roles. Talented. But Trajan not like Hadrian much. Sources hint. Thought too Greek tastes, intellectual, not Roman enough. Trajan soldier, practical, direct. Hadrian cultured, artistic, philosophical, different. Trajan doubts Hadrian good emperor. So Trajan wants successor? Unclear. Never publicly named heir, 19-year rule, irresponsible. No own children, other relatives possible. Kept plans himself, if definite. Fast forward August 117th. Trajan Eastern campaign conquer Parthia. Modern Iran, Iraq. Campaign poorly. Trajan, 63, stroke. Suddenly ill. Tries return Rome. Makes Selinus southern Turkey. There, August 8-9, Trajan dies. Suspicious. Plotina with Trajan death. Traveled campaign like Julia Domna Septimius Severus later. There, city stroke death. Hours announcement. Emperor Trajan final words adopted Hadrian, named successor. Surface straightforward. Deathbed adoption succession. But why some time many historians since suspect fabrication? First, timing suspicious. Why Trajan wait literal dying moments name successor? Sick days. New dying. Why not official earlier witnesses verify? Documents proper? Deathbed announcements convenient, can't verified. Only witnesses room people. Second, who room? Plotina certainly, perhaps close advisors. Hadrian not, Syria governor, hundreds miles away. Only confirm Trajan said Plotina who she allowed room. Third, weird detail one source. Historian Cassius Dio century later says some believed Plotina hid Trajan death days. Story, post-death, pretended alive too sick see anyone. Days, forged adoption doc succession announcement. Then, revealed died, but post-naming Hadrian. Dio unsure true, just reporting believed. Rumor existed tells contemporaries suspicious. Thought Plotina capable deception. Fourth, handwriting. Imperial adoptions, successions, formal docs witnessed, sealed. Hadrian's questions authenticity. Sources hint handwriting off, maybe forged Trajan's signature. Could gossip opponents, but another suspicious piece. What happened? Two main theories, decide, believe. Theory 1. Trajan really named Hadrian. Maybe came Plotina's view final days, realized Hadrian despite differences best empire. Made official deathbed, Plotina announced actual, traditional official version. Theory 2, Plotina fabricated. Knew Trajan dying, knew no named successor. Knew without clear succession, Rome civil war, generals, senators fight throne. Took hands, forged docs or announced adoption, no docs. Used empress authority, make credible. Installed Hadrian, chosen, can tell think. Theory 2 likely. Circumstances suspicious, Plotina motive, means, chose well. Hadrian excellent emperor. Ruled 21 years, 117-138. Consolidated empire, stopped expansion, built defenses like Hadrian's Wall Britain. Traveled extensively, visited provinces, fixed local issues, improved admin. Built Pantheon Rome, one perfect buildings ever. Patronized art, literature, philosophy, Greek enthusiast way, Trajan never, not perfect. Cruel sometimes, executed senators' threats, relationship young lover Antinous, mysterious drown, controversial. But most measures successful, left Rome stronger. If Plotina installed deception, favored Rome, did it legitimately through deception, exercised enormous power. Think audacity required. If fabricated, coordinate others. Someone write forged docs. Witness, multiple agree lie room, keep secret lives. Requires incredible personality, political skill. Or maybe Plotina no forge, maybe Trajan came around final moments, saw wisdom, Plotina telling years, genuinely chose Hadrian. Never know. Point, ambiguity tells. Contemporaries believed Plotina capable, believed influence, power, nerve. Whether did or not, almost beside point. Fact thought might reveals powerful. Compare other women met. Sorghaghtani maneuvered sun's power decades. Theodora saved empire crisis. Julia Domna governed years. Antonia exposed conspiracy. Börte managed empire's logistics. Toregene ruled regent. Tamar became king. Plotina potentially fabricated imperial succession, got away. Each found different ways exercise power systems not designed women have power. Worked within, around constraints, sometimes breaking entirely. Did because smart, capable, refused limitations. Haunts Plotina's story. Spent years building Hadrian career, advocating, preparing power. Trajan died, made sure Hadrian emperor, legitimate succession, clever forgery. Basically created emperor. Historical record? Few paragraphs, footnote, most never heard. Hadrian honored Plotina, deified death, built temples, coins image, clearly gratitude, whether legitimate announcement, clever install, but broader historical memory focuses Hadrian emperor, not Plotina kingmaker. Pattern haunts. Women made empires work, saved disaster, chose rule. Fade memory while empowered men become history heroes. Not fair, not accurate, consistent, met 9 women. 9 women changed empires. 9 women exercised real power. 3 more go. But next story different. Meet woman not work within system. Not ruling family. Not even free most life. Yet history's darkest moments stood between conqueror annihilation, entire religious community. Story break heart, fill hope, same time, stay. Sometimes true power measure not destroy, save. February 1258, Baghdad, greatest cultural center's history systematically destroyed, hundreds, thousands slaughtered. Tigris reportedly ran black ink thrown books, red blood murdered scholars. One woman stood conqueror, complete annihilation, religious community. Name, Doquz Khatun. Did those terrible days echo centuries' history's profound mercy, acts midst unimaginable violence? Take moment-changed world, January 1258, Mongol army. 50,000 surrounds Baghdad, not any city. Capital Abbasid Caliphate, Islamic Learning Culture Center, 500 years. One world's largest, 800,000 people. Libraries, hundreds, thousands books. Preserving knowledge Islamic world beyond. Scholars' finest age. Baghdad intellectual heart medieval world. Hulagu Khan, Genghis grandson, Tolui Sorghaghtani son, come destroy. Mongols demand surrender. Caliph refuses, believing city impregnable. Wrong. Mongols breach walls. February 5th. The next one greatest human history catastrophes. Mongols massacre Baghdad population. Death toll debated. Sources 200,000, 1 million. Truth between. But lower. Deadliest medieval events. Soldiers, scholars, women, children, elderly, none spared. Streets blood. Bodies stacked block roads. Books. Mongols throw house wisdom. One greatest libraries into Tigris. So many river turns black ink. Imagine centuries knowledge, irreplaceable manuscripts, science in math, philosophy, poetry, destroyed days. Historian Rashid al-Din decades later calls cultural catastrophe human history. Right? Caliph, Islamic world religious political leader, executed. Legend, Mongols wrap carpet, horses trample. Superstition, no spill royal blood. Whether true, Caliph killed, ending Abbasid Caliphate ruled 500 plus years. Mid-horror, Christians Baghdad. Not many, but there. Baghdad Islamic importance always religious minorities. Christians, Jews, Zoroastrians, others. Communities centuries. Sometimes thrive, persecuted, survive. Mongols attack, Christians terrified. Mongols not discriminate massacres. Kill Muslims, Christians all. Then extraordinary. Someone intervenes. Influence over Hulagu makes stop partially, spare lives. Someone wife, Doquz Khatun. So who Doquz? Story fascinating. Born early 1200s Karaite tribe, same Sorghaghtani. Fact, Doquz Sorghaghtani's niece, grew watching Aunt Power, learning Mongol politics. Like aunt, Nestorian Christian. Explain Nestorian, Christianity branch 5th century. Named theologian Nestorius. Spread East Silk Road, followers Persia, Central Asia, China. 13th century, Nestorian communities, Mongol Empire, many noble families including Karaites, converted. Doquz married Hulagu late 1230s, early 1240s, strategic marriage alliances Mongol families, but meeting two strong personalities. Hulagu, ruthless, effective commander. Doquz, intelligent, devout, own power base, not passive wife. Own retinue, resources, influence. Deeply committed Christian faith. Sources describe pious, supporting Christian communities everywhere, building churches, monasteries. Not unusual Mongol noble women. Remember Mongols generally tolerant religion, didn't care, practiced pay taxes, obey Khan. Doquz practiced Christianity openly, used position protect others. Hulagu sent west conquer Persia, Iraq. Doquz went. Like Börte Genghis, Julia Domna Septimius, noble women accompany husband's campaign, not comfort, administrative roles, managed logistics, supplies, camp followers, part command. Doquz there, Hulagu army Persia. They besiege fortresses, conquer cities, destroy assassin strongholds. They reach Baghdad, January 1258, sees siege, sees walls breached, sees massacre begin, put self-Doquz position, Christian woman Mongol army massacring Muslim city, husband commander, soldiers his orders, violence overwhelming, unstoppable. Somewhere, city Christians, few thousand, 10,000, die everyone else. What do? Something immense courage, intercedes, goes Hulagu, pleads Baghdad Christians. Story becomes almost biblical. Medieval sources compare Doquz Queen Esther Hebrew Bible. No Esther, Jewish woman Persia queen. People genocide threat. Risks life approaching king uninvited, pleads people. King listens, spares Jews. Doquz, same. Approaches Hulagu. Spare Christians, protect churches, let my people live. Hulagu, ordering hundreds, thousands deaths, destroying greatest cities, creating terror monument remembered centuries, says, yes, wife. Contemporary historian Bar Hebraeus, Christian Syriac, credits Doquz saving Christian community, not just Baghdad. Hulagu conquests continue, Persia, Shakra, Mesopotamia. Doquz consistently protects Christian communities, builds churches, gives money monasteries, makes Christian leaders access Hulagu, creates shield around Christian population, Ilkhanate, Mongol state Hulagu creating. Historian Rashid al-Din writes Doquz strongly supported Christians under protection great influence, huge, mid-brutal Mongol conquests, terrifying all, Christians paradoxically protected because Khan's wife won. Something remarkable. Doquz protection beyond passive, actively promotes Christianity, portable church travels army, tent chapel Christian services, ambassadors Christian kingdoms, envoys crusader states, even Armenia king, meet Doquz. Recognize powerful ally, influence Mongol policy Christian territories, fact, fascinating. Doquz, Hulagu briefly ally crusaders versus Muslim forces, unlikely. Mongols European Christians fight together. Doquz part makes possible. Bridge Nestorian East Catholic West, but one understand. Doquz power not official, not regent, no title co-ruler. Khan's wife, status, not formal authority. Power from relationship Hulagu, respect judgment, willingness listen. Personal power, not institutional, fragile. Doquz dies. 1265, 7 years post-Baghdad fall, Christian protection Ilkhanate weakens. Future Khans not Christian, wives not. Special status. Christians enjoyed Doquz influence gradually erodes. Tells much protection directly her. Take moment appreciate moral complexity. Doquz married man responsible greatest mass killings history. Hulagu's Baghdad conquest killed 200,000 1 million, destroyed countless cultural treasures, ended Abbasid Caliphate, created fear-hatred legacy persists Middle East parts. Yet Doquz used position save lives, thousands, tens, thousands. Couldn't stop massacre entirely, but carved protection zones, created exceptions, saved communities. Did. Absolve complicity husband's actions? No. Make hero? Don't know. Makes complicated hero villain. Human trying good overwhelming evil. Philosophical question, moral responsibility. Close power, influence someone terrible things, obligation. Enough mitigate harm. Save some can't stop larger atrocity? Or complicit being there, not leaving, not denouncing? No answer. Different people, different moral frameworks. But Doquz story forces grapple, not powerless, influence, used save Christians, didn't use stop massacre entirely, make savior bystander? No. Christians survived Baghdad, her intervention, Doquz salvation, families spared, children grew she spoke, hero, historical sources Christians reflect, praise. Compare Esther, Bible's great women. Remember gratitude. But Islamic sources different. Them, Doquz represents foreign influence enabled Mongol destruction Islamic world. Christianity, Christian protection, Hulagu influence, seen negatively. Part catastrophe, even limit tried. Thing history, role depends whose story told. Doquz simultaneously savior, collaborator, protector, enabler, depending teller perspective, strikes most Doquz. Agency impossible situation, didn't create Mongol conquests, didn't order massacres, but there, made choices, chose use influence protect. Chose build churches support Christian communities. Chose intercede mercy merciless violence. Her choices mattered. Maybe lesson. Don't always control circumstances. Doquz didn't choose conquest destruction era, but control act within. Her circumstances, Doquz chose mercy, chose save could, chose use power, limited, for protection, not destruction. Met 10 women, 10 changed empires, 10 exercised power different ways, means, results. 2 more stories left, but last 2 different. Meet women not only saved empires, fought physically, led armies, put bodies line. Starting woman age 60 stood British Empire said, not without fight, stay. Courage, inspire. When someone too old fight, Age decide, step back, accept defeat, let younger? British Empire answer 1900. Thought 60-year-old woman easy handle, age, gender weaken, submit no resistance. Wrong catastrophically. 60-year-old woman stood council male chiefs ready surrender, delivered powerful speeches, African history. Speech shamed men action, launched war, nearly defeated powerful empires, earth. Name, Yaa Asantewaa. Never heard, tells everything who writes history. Transport West Africa, now Ghana, late 19th century. Ashanti Empire, powerful, sophisticated African states. Existed 200 years, wealthy gold mining trade, complex political system, strong military, rich traditions. Capital Kumasi, thriving city, heart Ashanti identity object sacred, represents nation soul, golden stool not fancy throne. Ashanti tradition, descended heaven late 1600s, contains Ashanti people spirit, never sat, even king, kept own throne, sacred symbol, Ashanti sovereignty independence. Possess golden stool rule Ashanti. Demand golden stool, demand complete nation submission. 1896, British demand golden stool, not directly first. British expanding West Africa control decades, fighting Ashanti wars on off since 1823. Ashanti resist colonization fiercely. 1890s, British military tech, machine guns, overwhelmingly superior. 1896, British defeat Ashanti battle, capture King Prempeh Frere, exile Seychelles, king gone, British think won. Install Governor Sir Frederick Hodgson, assume Ashanti accept colonial rule. Few years uneasy peace, but March 1900 Hodgson catastrophic mistake. Travels Kumasi, demands sit golden stool. Not see, sit demonstrate British supremacy. Imagine shock, outrage, like someone demand burn country flag, urinate constitution. Golden stool, not symbol, spiritual essence, Ashanti. British governor, foreign power invaded, exiled king, wants desecrate. Ashanti horrified, furious, afraid, just lost war. King gone, British guns, artillery of empire behind, what possibly do? Chiefs elders gather, secret discuss crisis, mood dark, many ready surrender, say, can't fight British again, lose, killed, exiled, give want, preserve can. Man after argues submission, realistic pragmatic surrender. Then woman stands, name Yaa Asantewaa. 60, Queen Mother Edweso, means female ruler, won Ashanti territories. Ashanti society, Queen Mothers not ceremonial, real political power, advise king, participate council decisions, even choose king. Yaa Asantewaa politics decades, knows power works, had enough defeatist talk, accounts passed down, Yaa Asantewaa speech changes all. Exact words vary, source essence consistent, says like, now see some fear forward fight king, brave days old, chiefs not sit see king taken without shot, no European dared speak Ashanti chiefs way governor morning, true Ashanti bravery no more, can't believe, can't be, must say, men Ashanti not forward will, call fellow women, fight British last fall's battlefields. Sink moment, 60-year-old woman room full, male chiefs or warriors shaming, saying, if cowardly defend nation, women will, fight, die, submit. Apparently not just speech. Some accounts, picks rifle, fires, shot emphasize. Imagine room, shock, shame, sudden realization, woman more courage, all men combined. Chief stunned, then mobilized. Yaa Asantewaa, brilliant. Made surrender impossible without honor loss. Forced, choose fight, stern seen, weaker old woman. Warrior culture, no choice. Days, Ashanti organize war. Yaa Asantewaa, not inspiration. Becomes military leader. Helps coordinate armies, plan strategy, maintain morale. April 1900, war begins. Ashanti attack British positions, siege British Fort Kumasi, trapping Governor Hodgson for 3,000 inside. British shocked, thought Ashanti defeated, pacified, ready colonial rule. Instead, full-scale rebellion led woman. Ashanti not fighting, winning. Kumasi siege months. British inside run food, water, ammo, desperate. Reinforcements not arrive soon, surrender, die. British governor eventually escapes some troops, fight way out, but Ashanti continue war. Attack supply lines, ambush patrols, control countryside months. Yaa Asantewaa, Ashanti armies keep British defensive. 1900, height British imperial power, empire quarter world land, modern rifles, artillery, organization, fought standstill African kingdom led 60-year-old woman. But British can't stand. Humiliation great. Send massive reinforcements, thousands troops, heavy artillery, modern weapons. September 1900, British assemble overwhelming force, launch systematic campaign crush Ashanti resistance. Even then, Yaa Asantewaa forces fight, retreat forests guerrilla tactics, refuse give, but eventually numbers firepower much. September 1900, Yaa Asantewaa captured, taken prisoner other Ashanti leaders. British learned underestimating, no chances. Exile Seychelles, same King Prempeh, never see Ghana. Yaa Asantewaa exile 21 years, dies 1921-1. 80, never home. British never allowed. Understood, never admit publicly. Dangerous. Mere presence Ghana inspire resistance. War result? British officially annex Ashanti territories, part Gold Coast colony. Golden stool never found. Ashanti hid successfully, remains sacred Ghana today. British never sat. Since, Yaa Asantewaa succeeded. Prevented desecration people's sacred symbol, but larger, war worth? Ashanti lost independence. Many died, leaders exiled. Practical standpoint, maybe surrender better. But thing, some worth fighting even lose. Some lines can't cross without resistance. Yaa Asantewaa understood hand golden stool, no fight, lose more independence. Lose dignity, identity, soul people, now question think. Why probably never heard Yaa Asantewaa? Led war British Empire 1900 imperialism height, 60-year-old woman shamed male chiefs fight, commanded armies, directed sieges, resisted months overwhelming odds, story everything. Courage, drama, gender politics, anti-colonial resistance, incredible story. Not famous? Tell why. African history, especially resistance colonialism, systematically erased Western narratives. School, learned European explorers discovering Africa, colonization, independence, 1950s, 60s. Never learned centuries African resistance before. Never queens, warriors, strategists fought colonization every step. Not accident. Deliberate choice history taught. Acknowledging like Yaa Asantewaa means acknowledging colonization, not benevolent civilizing. Conquest. Resisted fiercely people not want conquered means acknowledging Africans not passive victims waiting saved. Active agents own history fighting freedom. Also gender element, Yaa Asantewaa, not fit comfortable narratives African women, not victim needing rescue, not primitive, backward. Sophisticated political leader understood strategy military tactics, commanded respect male warriors, led armies battle, threatens multiple stereotypes once. Stereotypes Africans, women, age, and societies uncomfortable that. Pattern C. Every woman series erased, minimized degree, but non-European like Yaa Asantewaa erased completely. Sorghaghtani, Börte, Tamar, Doquz Khatun, Yaa Asantewaa, almost unknown West. While Theodora Julia Domna at least footnotes Roman history, African Asian queens barely mentioned, colonialism working historical memory, colonizers not just conquer territories. Conquered narratives, decided stories told, forgotten, made sure resistance stories, especially successful, led women, buried. But Ghana, Yaa Asantewaa national hero, schools named, statues, image currency. Ghanaian children learn story, learn courage, leadership, refusal, surrender, celebrated greatest Ghanaian history figures, only outside Ghana unknown, tells who controls global narrative, end thought, Yaa Asantewaa, 60 war, 60, time life expectancy lower today, could said, too old, let younger fight, earned rest, instead picked rifle, led people battle, spent last 21 years exile, never home, refused submit. What is 60? What cause willing fight die? What line refuse crossed regardless cost? Yaa Asantewaa, clarity. Knew mattered, acted, consequences damned, met 11 women, 11 saved shaped empires, intelligence, courage, administration, mercy, warfare. Each found different path power, each changed history, each forgotten, minimized historical record. One more story go. One more woman exercised power make legendary. Last tie together, ruled not husband, son, not consort, regent, own right over 40 years, longer most kings dreamed ruling. Story next, perfect ending journey. Stay, 42 years, longer most emperors ruled, longer Genghis conquered, longer Queen Victoria early reign. Woman achieved continuous influence, powerful empires, world. Strategy, brilliant simplicity, radicalism, took virginity vow age. 15, vow gave more power marriage could. Name, Pulcheria. Perfect ending journey, proves power forms often fail, recognize. Take Constantinople, year 414, Eastern Roman Empire, called Byzantine, precarious. Emperor Theodosius II, only 13. Father died, empire threats surround, Persians east, barbarian tribes north, theological disputes tear Christian church inside, needs strong leadership emperor child, enter older sister Pulcheria, only 15 politically savvy most adults, makes decision define life, reshape Byzantine Empire, takes public vow perpetual virginity, dedicates God, promise never marry, sexual relations, life, religious devotion. Why 15-year-old princess, glance, seems giving power. Most societies, women gain power marriage, mothers, men relationships. Vowing no marry, Pulcheria seems closing traditional female power path. But cleverer. If married, become someone's wife, husband authority. Ambitious, might seize throne brother. Controlling, limit political. Marriage reduce independence, but never marry, permanently unavailable. Remain brother's closest advisor, trusted confidant, no competing male. Second brilliant, framing unmarried religious devotion not single, Pulcheria gains enormous moral authority. Deeply Christian Byzantine, virginity holy state, especially women. Vow, Pulcheria not princess, holy woman, sacrificed worldly pleasures, spiritual purity, gives power even emperors respect. Works, 414-15, named Augusta, highest woman title, equivalent empress, no woman young ever, but Senate Church approve. Pulcheria framed pious holy, not threatening, not seeking power own sake, dedicated God-serving empire, least narrative. Narrative gives enormous maneuver room. Pulcheria convinces younger sisters, Arcadia, Marina, same vow. 3 imperial princesses, dedicated religious life, wielding moral authority. Turn imperial palace monastery-like. Strict religious observances, prayer schedules, charitable works, very public visible, creates image imperial family pious, holy, strengthens legitimacy. But behind religious facade, Pulcheria hardcore politics, effectively running empire brother Theodosius' throne, Theodosius not strong. Sources describe weak-willed, interested calligraphy theology governance. Content let sister handle ruling work, exactly Pulcheria wants. What Pulcheria power? Lot. First, manages imperial bureaucracy, appoints competent administrators, oversees tax collection, military logistics, diplomatic other states, essentially prime minister without title. Second, dominates religious policy. Byzantine religion politics. Theological disputes not abstract. Determine church power, bishop alliances, political factions, empire relates Christian communities. 431. Pulcheria biggest move, massive controversy, Christ-Mary nature. Bishop Nestorius, Constantinople patriarch, teaches Mary not mother God, only Christ. Seems minor, huge implications Jesus divinity. Pulcheria strongly disagrees, uses influence convene church council, council Ephesus, settle. Gathering hundreds bishops Christian world. Pulcheria ensures council condemns Nestorius, affirms Mary Mother God. Nestorius deposed exiled. Pulcheria's position official doctrine, matters, shapes Christian theology next 1600 years. Every Christian calls Mary Mother God, affirming position Pulcheria fought won. Think power level, woman 30s, no official government position, not empress own right, determining Christian doctrine entire Roman Empire beyond. Extraordinary. Does maintaining fiction, pious virgin God service, decades pattern, Theodosius emperor name, Pulcheria power behind, not command armies, determines military policy, not sit throne, chooses key appointments, not preach sermons, shapes religious orthodoxy. Most powerful Eastern Roman Empire, nearly 30 years, most not consciously aware, operates skillfully shadows. Then 450, Theodosius dies. Falls horse, injuries. Only 49, sudden succession crisis. Theodosius, no sons. Next emperor, moment Pulcheria's lifetime positioning pays. Now 51. Wielded power 36 years. More governing experience anyone empire. Essentially chooses emperor. Selects Marcian. Respected general 60, widowed, politically moderate. Pulcheria offers deal. Marry, making legitimate emperor, but maintain virginity vow. Political marriage not real. Consummate never. Rule jointly, retain holy status at authority. Marcian agrees. Pulcheria 51 marries first. Name only. Remain virgin, religious credentials, but additional title, empress, reigning emperor's wife. Combined religious authority, political legitimacy unprecedented. Pulcheria, Marcian, rule together 3 years. Pulcheria death 453, years successful. Convene another council. Chalcedon 451, further defines doctrine. Maintain empire stability, keep economy functioning. Pulcheria dies. 54, mourned saint. Church later Saint Pulcheria. Math, vow 414, named Augustus same. Rules through brother 414, 452, 36 years. Jointly Marcian 450, 453, 3 years. 39 years active rule. But influence 42 years count 414. Death 453, 42 years. Compare Emperor's series. Trajan 19, Hadrian 21, most Byzantine lucky 10. But Pulcheria, never official emperor, operated others, influenced over 4 decades, longer most dynasties, did maintaining holy virginity image, never accused power-hungry ambitious negative, framed all-service god empire, couldn't attacked scheming woman user male, presented humble Christ servant, perfect defensive, but make no mistake, Pulcheria ambitious, wanted power, enjoyed, used shape world her vision, just smart frame ambition society accept, genius political strategy. End journey history, think discovered. Why history books focus kings, generals, battles, ignore women-made empires. Function, past hours met 12 women provide answer. Women not influential, essential. Saved empires collapse, prevented civil wars, shaped succession, made administrative work, protected populations, led armies, determined religious doctrine. Without, empires served different, possibly not survived. Sorghaghtani Beki raised 4 emperor sons, modernized Mongol admin. Theodora saved Constantinople Nika riots sheer courage. Julia Domna ran Rome, decades emperors fought. Caenis enslaved saved Tiberius assassination perfect memory. Antonia Minor exposed Sejanus, prevented coup. Börte kept Mongol Empire functioning, Genghis conquered. Toregene ruled regent, secured son succession despite historians' trashing reputation. Tamar became king, presided Georgia Golden Age. Plotina may chosen Roman emperor clever manipulation. Doquz Khatun saved thousands Baghdad destruction. Yaa Asantewaa led war British Empire 60. Pulcheria shaped Byzantine Empire, Christian theology 42 years. 12 women, 12 different paths power, 12 different strategies, survival success patriarchal systems, haunts, history, written men, men often not notice care power not look male, notice armies, battles, formal titles, misadministrative, diplomatic, info networks, soft power. Second, acknowledging female power threatens narrative men natural leaders, women followers. Admit women like Pulcheria, Julia Domna effectively ruling, rethink gender leadership assumptions. Third, many women operated deliberately subtle, had open female ambition dangerous, worked others, claimed acting sons, husbands, God. Historians took claims face value not seeing strategy, but empires not run conquest alone. Run administration, diplomacy, info gathering, succession planning, economic management, cultural cohesion. Women doing much work, not relegated domestic, smart recognize real power lay, skilled seize. Celebrate shadow power? Happy women work men, hide ambition, pretend acting others? No. Women deserve rule openly, credit work, recognized history. Fact, strategic, careful, indirect tragedy. Within constraints, remarkable. Found ways exercise real power, shape empires, change history, deserves recognition. What do knowledge? First question history taught. Read great kings, emperors, ask actually doing work, advising, managed empire away, cleaned mistakes. Second, look erased women, seek stories, amplify voices, refuse accept narratives, pretend women absent, irrelevant. Third, recognize power, many forms. Stop valorizing only visible, violent. Start acknowledging intelligence, admin, networking, strategy. Maybe start telling stories, young people. Imagine children learn Sorghaghtani alongside Genghis, Theodora's speech alongside Belisarius battles, Yaa Asantewaa alongside other anti-colonial. Change understanding women can. Change assumptions, power, gender, leadership. These 12 women saved empires, changed history, long forgotten. But not anymore. Not us. No names, no stories, responsibility. Remember, share, make sure next generation knows women always essential world works, even history books pretended otherwise. Thank staying long journey, thank listening stories, caring forgotten women, willing question narratives taught, stories moved, made think differently. History, please share video, talk women, say names, every tell stories, push back centuries erasure, every acknowledge women, make little easier. Next generation women claim place history openly without hide shadows, want more stories like challenge no history, reveal hidden figures shaped world, stay tuned. History full forgotten people, stories deserve told, only begun. Until next, remember most powerful history often one's never heard. Maybe time change.